Hi guys, it's Alex again. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a like or share, whatever you want to do. Super happy to talk to you guys today because I get to talk about my tattoos. I had a viewer who asked if I would explain why I have certain tattoos and what do they mean, and I love that question because I like to talk about my tattoos. You know, they're painful and exciting, and I was so afraid to get them for so long in my relationship with my ex-husband. He hated them. He never wanted me to have them, so I never got them, and it was really a liberating experience when he decided he no longer wanted to be with me to get one of the bigger tattoos that I have, and I'll show you that in just a second. Well, when I first turned 18, I got my first tattoo, which is the Eye of Ra, and I have that on one of my lower back areas. And that was significant because when I used to walk around the streets of San Francisco with my grandfather, my poppy, he had taken me there as a child, and I was there on one visit with my little sister, and all I remember, and I love San Francisco, it's like one of my favorite places, and for a big reason, it was because, you know, he took me there at such a young age. I was so impressionable. And this old homeless man came and screamed in my face, like being so crazy. And I remember I was like 9 years old. I'm like, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. It was like burned into my memory. Well, that old man had a giant Eye of Ra like tattooed on his forehead. And I remember researching, like, what does that mean? What was on that crazy guy's forehead? And it totally got me interested in the Egyptian culture, and it was right around the time where they were teaching it in school, so I was like, and it just always stuck with me. And so I thought, you know what, why don't I start there, right? Start with something that means something to you. So I got that tattoo. On my other side, that was my second tattoo, I got the tattoo of a lotus flower, significant of a flower that, you know, comes up from the mud and raises to the top of the water. And I just kind of thought that was a cool idea in keeping with the Egyptian theme as well. And I thought it was a really beautiful design that I picked out. And so there was not a crazy amount of meaning behind that one, but that was my other little lower back tattoo. The other one I'm going to show you on my lower back, I guess is what you would call like Le Trump stamp. But that's the only tattoo I have that doesn't mean anything. I just got it when my friend was getting a tattoo. I was like, oh, I know what would be cute, like a bow above my butt. Can you please tattoo a bow above my butt? And I forget it's there all the time. Like, I'll be looking in the mirror at my butt in a pair of underwear, and I'm like, what the hell is on my ass? And then I have to like do a double check, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's there. And then I'll have like a picture from behind, and I'm like, oh, what is that? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. So these is my tattoos on my lower back. So I think you can see these, right? So here's my little bow. That's right above my booty. I think you guys can see that, right? And there's my Eye of Ra. That was my first tattoo. And there's my lotus flower. Get it in the camera there for you guys. Lotus flower. Eye. Booty bow. Can you see the booty bow? Good, because I don't know why I got a tattoo where I can't look at it. The decisions we make, right, people? Okay. Then I decided I would get a tattoo when I came back to California, because I'm a California girl, born and raised, and I'm all about like the 60s culture, 60s, 70s era culture, and so I wanted to get like a tribute tattoo, and I wanted to get one on my foot with my mom, so she got a Navy tattoo to like brag about me, which I thought was really corny, but she's my mom, so she's like to brag about me like any mom. And so I got this like cool, let me see if I can bring my foot up. Oh, I can. Can you see that? Can you see that? That's like my little tie-dye little peace sign there, my little hippy dippy, which is funny because I was in the Navy and I never like smoked weed before. I never really even knew like what it meant to be a hippie. You know, flash forward many years later, I won't say I'm in the same boat, but still. So I have this cool little tattoo on my foot, and it hasn't faded, which is cool because I'm in the sun all the time. And then, let's see, what was next? Oh, Then I got my tattoo. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That was my 4th tattoo. So my 5th tattoo is the Morton Salt Girl on my right side here, and I think you can see that all the way, right? That'll be the elevator, right? I got the Morton Salt Girl tattoo because I was with my husband for 6 years when he called me at work to tell me that he no longer wanted to be in a relationship anymore. And it was miserable to experience. And he also informed me over the phone that he was going to try and take my daughter away from me. And I had to be at work for 24 hours that day. It was like, well, when you're in the Navy, sometimes you have to pull these like overnight shifts, right? And so I couldn't leave work, and my world was coming to an end basically at that point. And I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold in the tears. So I went in the little bunk room where we get to sleep at, and I just was bawling my eyes out. And I looked up and I saw this little salt shaker, and it had the little Morton Salt Girl. And I remember looking at it all the time and thinking it was just such a cute design when I was little and being like in my Nana's kitchen. So I looked at her and like looked at this little salt shaker, and I just was so pathetic. I'm like, when it rains, it pours. Like, I can't. And of course, like, there was precedent to my husband calling me and wanting to be with, not be with me. We had both gone our separate ways. He had gotten out of the Navy. I hadn't made up my mind yet whether I wanted to get out. There was so many different things that led into that situation, but still, breaking up with me at work led to me having a little bit of a breakdown. So the Morton Salt Girl was really there for me at that time. She was really dependable when I was in my time of need. And I went to my ex-husband's parents' house for Christmas that year, and he and his parents wanted me to lie and say that we were still together so that they could save face for the rest of the family, and so no one would have any anxiety over the holidays. And my one trade out for that is because I was pissed. I was like, are you kidding me? You just ruined my life, and now you want me to pretend I'm happy? My one trade off was like, okay, mother hella, you're gonna pay for my tattoo. And so that night I went and got the Morton Salt tattoo on my side. And I remember just like grinning through the pain, just like, you mother trucker. And so that means a lot to me, actually. My Morton Salt Girl means a lot to me. And then the following on my arms kind of came right after I got out of the Navy and came back to California. They were kind of like just spur of the moment type tattoos. But I like the significance of this line, which it says, "You are wild ones, don't let them tame you," which really is significant to my life in the way that I spent so much time in the military being put down for being a woman, and a semi-cute woman at that. And I was so underestimated, and at times I was told that I couldn't look a certain way, or I was too gullible, or I was too brash, or I was too rude, or I was always too something. And I just remember just feeling like I can't change for everybody. I can't. So I'm going to stay who I am and be strong. And I kept it inside, but inside I had a really big finger up to the man, right? So that was like my finger tattoo, right? My finger to the man tattoo. You were wild ones, don't let them tame you. And then I got my like chola tattoo here, which is upside down to you guys, but it says bean. Let me see if I can make it right side up. Here we go. Bean. And that's what I call my daughter. And you can see that it has the same little doilies around it that I have on my foot. So I just kind of carried up the hippy-dippy stuff onto that tattoo. And it says bean because my daughter looked like a bean in her ultrasound, the first picture I ever got to see of my kid. And I've called her Bean ever since. She's my Lily Bean, and she's the most important thing in my entire universe. She's the forefront of my life in general, and the biggest, greatest accomplishment of my life. I can't say enough, like, this is my life, okay? So she's my Bean, and I call her that. Not like Frances Bean, but like Lily Bean, right? Okay. And then this whole arm is my first sleeve, which is so amazing. I love it. I look at it all the time. I'm like, oh, that's on me. Like, it's so cool. I'm totally stoked on it. The artist who originally made these images is Alphonse Mucha. He was an Art Nouveau artist during the Art Nouveau period when it was really big. And the reason I became very fond of his artwork was because my Nana had always been around me as a child, taking me to art museums, introducing me to culture, even introducing me to, the idea of Burning Man. My little itty bitty sweet Nana, was totally like getting, at a young age, basically like opening my mind to this whole other universe, right? And so recently she has kind of gone downhill with Alzheimer's, and it's an awful disease. And to kind of work through some of the feelings I was going through with some of the things that were happening, that was one of the reasons I started to get these tattoos, and also just because she's such a huge person in my life. She's like my mom. I love my Nana. And so when I thought about what kind of beauty would I want to show for everybody to see, without any shame, show who I am. And my first lady here was for a series he did about the different seasons. And this is the Woman of Lilies, and I believe she was Summer. And so she's just about finished. She was my first lady that came on. And then we moved around. And I have this doll right here, which is kind of cool. She's like on my elbow, so like when I want her to look old, I can just squish her face. I get my little elephant skin there, right? But she's cool. I like her. It's kind of cool because it's muted colors, but they're still really brought out by some of the teals and stuff that are behind it. And then this here is my last lady that I'm currently working on. She's got a lot of work still yet to do. This has been hours and hours and hours of sitting in a chair. The work has been done by a local artist here named Vanessa, working out at Bombshell Tattoo. She's amazing. She's been super patient with my circumstances, dealing with like having to bail on 1,000 appointments because of child custody issues, or not having enough money to invest in a huge appointment. She's like done whatever she could get in with her time, and I'm super grateful for that. Not all tattoo artists are made alike, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful who you choose to put ink in you for the rest of your life. Luckily, I've had a great experience with Vanessa. I've had my tattoos done in many different areas. My Morton Salt Girl in Pennsylvania, of course, because that's where my ex-husband is from. And so yeah, I think that's it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tattoos. 10 tattoos. And still not done. Eventually I'd like to do some like watercolor work on my other arm, and I think that's probably where I would stop. I don't want to do anything in my face. Women who do it and it can pull it off, I think it's gorgeous. I think any form of self-expression from a woman is gorgeous. Whether you wear yourself modestly from the outside, however you do you in the most confident way that you can portray yourself is what I think matters most. And I don't think that as women we should project our hatred or our jealousy or our opinions onto other women to make them feel like less of a person for any reason. Whether it's their weight or their hair or their shoes or their tattoos or their piercings or their lack thereof. We're all women. We need to support each other and lift each other up. And thank you for listening to my crazy stories today. And to the viewer who asked me for this, I hope you're satisfied with that. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Comment below. Give me some likes. Give me some sugar. And I will talk to you with the next video. Thanks.